Alright guys, so we got a quick update video here on the Flywoo Baby Nano FR. So this is basically the same model as the Baby Nano that came up before, but the FR stands for freestyle. So they modified the original Baby Nano slightly to make it a little bit more in terms of better in terms of accurate performance. So here's the original Baby Nano, and basically the main things that they've changed here are the props, the motor KV, and the frame. And that's pretty much it. Now, when you guys saw my previous video on this updated 1.2 version of the Baby Nano, I did not change out my battery connection. The 1.2, if you get it actually factory, it will come with a GNB27 connector. They didn't send me that. I think they might have made some changes in between the time that they sent me the parts to upgrade the version 1 to the 1.2 and when they actually released it. So if you guys are wondering about that discrepancy, that's why. But yeah, the 1.2 does come with the GNB27 connector, and the new FR comes with that same GNB27 connector. They have also sent along some of these 1S 350 milliamp hour high volt batteries with the GNB27 connector. So along with slightly different frame changes and also higher kV motor, they went with a smaller battery to give it a little bit better punch out and accurate performance. And otherwise, everything's pretty much else. This is the same. So they got the same all-in-one flight controller board in there. Same Express LRS receiver, the same camera. Obviously the TPU parts here have changed a little bit to accommodate the freestyle aspect, but the frame is the thing that's the biggest difference. So basically they went from this sort of squished X frame to just a general straight X frame. So the motor to motor distance is going to be the same front to back and side to side, whereas it's more squished front to back on the original Baby Nano, so it does give you slightly different flying characteristics. And I just flew mine with the battery forward and backwards with the basically the pre-installed battery strap. Didn't really feel like taking it all apart to swap the battery strap, so it would allow the battery to mount sideways, which you still can do because the frame does have the little hooks there. But getting them in and out, well, you have to pretty much take the whole flight controller off to get under there to pull that little TPU port off that hook there. So that's I kind of wish it came factory so that you could put the battery in sideways, but I just flew it the way it came like this, and it was fine. Okay, so as I mentioned, the motor KV is now higher, and I don't think I'm going to get the camera to focus, but it's 19,500 kV, 0802.4 motor, same size motor as before. It's just a higher KV, and then now we have a 3-bladed prop instead of a 2-bladed prop. So, so while on the original Baby Nano, with the larger battery and lower KV motor, this is much more efficient. You got much more flight time, but it's more of a cruiser, so you're just kind of cruising around. You can get some pretty long flights that way. But now with the higher KV motor and 3-bladed props, you're trading the longer flight times for better performance, and also you got a smaller battery, so your flight times do go down quite a bit compared to what you were getting before. Almost half, I think, compared to what I was getting on the 450 battery on the lower kV motor and a 2-bladed prop. So basically you have a choice, right? So if you want the performance, go for this model here. If you want the flight time, go for the older model, the one with the lower kV, more efficient setup here. So that's really, what they're, people that were like, oh, they like this model, but they want more performance. Well, now you have it, but it's at the expense of flight time. If you're saying that you want both the flight time and the performance, well, you might have to wait for a model sometime in the future. I don't know how long you have to wait for that one. Maybe it could be a few years. Basically they have to get motors that are this efficient, but with the power of the higher kV motor, which is not really possible. You can go to a bigger motor like an 1102, but then you're going up a lot in weight. So let's see how much everything weighs here. So just the drone by itself is 23.4 grams, and then with the battery all up flying weight, it's about 32.26 grams. So, just a general discussion on how this performs compared to some other ones with 40mm propellers. So the Mosquito here, it's a lot heavier, and the battery uses a pH 2.0 connector, so you just don't have the same performance, although this one is much more durable. Obviously the frame here is on the Baby Nano is much thinner, and more likely to break in a crash, and which means it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to fix. So if you're one of those that doesn't want to be fixing stuff all the time, maybe look at the Mosquito. But if that's if you're looking for a performance, then you're going to be wanting to go for the Baby Nano FR. And then of course the same trade-off here again. This one's a similar kV motor, like 19,000 kV. This is the UZ80. But you have to build it yourself, and this frame also is pretty fragile. It's probably more fragile than this one here with the thinner arms, but you have basically two of them acting as a brace versus the single arm here that's more likely to break. So again, it's all trade-offs. The battery connector in this one was also pH 2.0, not a GMB27, etc., etc. I would go back and look at the other videos if you want to see how they fly. They're all fairly similar in terms of performance. Like, you can't really do any super massive acro tricks. You're not going to be doing power loops or crazy acro tricks with even this one here with a lower flight time. You can go totally bonkers on the throttle and burn the battery, and I think I've done a test where it was gone in like a minute. So yeah, if you want to go full throttle the whole time, you can, but the performance isn't so great because, with a small battery like this, you still get a lot of voltage sag. So if you're at full throttle for, over 3-4 seconds, the voltage starts dropping and your speed starts to drop as well. So there's limitations to this smaller platform and size. But that being said, out of all of the other 40mm ones that I've flown, I think this one here has got the best performance, and in terms of the performance to weight ratio is the best. So if you're looking for like a little more acro performance out of a 40mm prop, little micro quad like this one's probably going to be the best out there at the again at the expense of flight time. So ultimately, that's the big trade-off, is you're just going to have a shorter flight. Well, the fix for that is just go get more batteries and go for your 2 to 2.5 minute, 3 minute flights. Have fun, just swap the battery. If you're looking to get, the 5 to 6 minute flight, then you don't want to get this model. Get the model that came before with the lower kV motor, and you're going to get the longer flight with this one here for those of you guys that prefer cruising. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. If you have any questions, let me know. Talk to you guys in the next video.